the Mets are dependent on a lot of help right now.
Yes.
Because it was not a good weekend in Philadelphia.
No. Depending and getting two completely different things, Rick. Indeed. Mets today opposing Phillies ace Roy Halladay with knuckleballer R.A. Dickey. Now, just a few months back, you'd have said, who? What? Why? Turns out, lately Dickey is pitching about as well as almost anyone in the league, but in Philadelphia, would he knuckle under? Dickey and company leading 2-1 in the third when the Mets implode. Jose Reyes gets it started, making this error. Then Raul Ibanez belting this long 3-run homer to center off Dickey. Carlos Beltran following, misplaying this ball into a double. And Ike Davis dropping the throw to first. 5 runs, 7 hits that inning alone as the Phils hang on 6-5. Meanwhile, the Yanks again hosting Boston tonight. Those first-place Yankees now leading Tampa by 2 full games. Blue Jays beating the Rays today as Tampa comes this close to being no-hit for the 3rd time this season. Brandon Morrow 1 out away. But Evan Longoria breaking up the no-no here, delivering this infield hit. Ouch. Still, Morrow striking out 17 as the Blue Jays win 1-0. Now, by now, you'd think that Brian Cashman would feel totally secure as Yankee general manager, right? Well, in a revealing chat this week, surprisingly so, Cashman telling me otherwise. He says one key to weathering those occasional Yankee storms is simply keeping busy.
It never stops. It's 24/7. So you really don't have a chance to dwell on whether you had success or failure because there's something staring you right in the face the next moment, and that probably helps to some degree. But at some point, I'll be looking forward to going back to civilian life and doing something different because this is I didn't really want this, and it's a pressure cooker. I enjoy what I do. I'm happy that we've had the success we've had since I've been doing it, but there's only so long you can do something before it kills you.
So you can actually see yourself sometime soon, maybe doing something else.
I don't know about sometime soon, but listen, they'll get me at some point. I'll deserve to go, and like everybody does, this is just temporary. Especially GM of the Yankees. I've held it for this is my 13th year now, and which is incredible. But we've had an incredible run so far. I've been lucky to have a lot of great players and personnel to help us have the success we've had.
So wait a minute now. Even after 13 years and with all these titles and all this revenue, you still don't feel completely secure in this job. I guess that's just the nature of the job.
I think that's a healthy thing. I've never put up any personal pictures in my office and stuff. I think if you get comfortable, that's when you're probably vulnerable. I'm not going to ever be comfortable, and one day I'll look to do something different. So,
Mrs. Cashman doesn't wonder why no pictures of the family in the office?
I think everybody understands. So.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he hopes his wife understands. Elsewhere, in the nation's premier harness race, yesterday's Hambletonian at the Meadowlands, Muscle Massive upsetting that favorite Lucky Chucky. And this not-so-lucky Chucky is named for his trainer, Chuck Sylvester, who originally wanted to name his horse, you ready? What the Chuck. So you wanted to call him What the Chuck, and you were rebuffed by?
The USTA, United States Trotting Association. They just thought the announcers would get mixed up and call him that name, and it wouldn't come out right. And I said, well, if it didn't, that would be the best thing for our sport. So, but anyhow, they wouldn't give it to us.
Oh, they're so stuffy, some of these horse people, huh?
Yeah, I tried for 2 months, and finally we give up and just named him Lucky Chucky.
Come on, they wouldn't let him use What the Chuck? What the? Elsewhere. Long before LeBron was called King James, there was Patterson's Mike King Kelly inducted this week into the Irish-American Baseball Hall of Fame. So who's King Kelly, you ask? Well, he's also a member of the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown. In the late 1800s, Kelly storing for the Chicago White Stockings, among others, becoming one of America's first real celebs. Kelly represented for his Irish Baseball Hall enshrinement by his biographer, Marty Appel. Those ceremonies at Foley's Pub in Manhattan, where that Brian Cashman and broadcaster Tim McCarver were also honored.
He was the first matinee idol that baseball produced. He was the first American that kids would run after in the streets and say, "Can I have your autograph? Can I have your autograph?" That whole concept began with Kelly.
So Mike Kelly, the original sports king. And we discuss the controversial future of Garden State harness racing on tonight's Jersey Sports Final. It all gets underway beginning at 10:30. And so, Rick, even in the 1800s, yes, it was good to be the king.
And Cashman, great interview there. Walking on eggshells, isn't he?
I was Mike Wallace there, wasn't I?
4 questions in there, wouldn't do it. Thank you very much, Joe.